Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our curiosity call. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Mary Burleson. I am an executive regional vice president with Arbonne, an independent consultant. And this call is put on by independent consultants and not Arbonne Corporate. So just know that everything you hear tonight is coming from our heart, coming from our experience, coming from what we love about Arbonne. I have been with Arbonne for 26 years, and I am so grateful for every single minute that I have been here. And I want you to lean in and listen because it has changed my life, and I'm just so grateful for it. So let me see here. And I am going to share my screen in a little bit. When I first was introduced to Arbonne, I had a corporate job and I was working long hours and I did not get the big picture. And it took me about 6 years to get that big picture. But when I did, oh man, I was just, as Lisa, my dear friend and sponsor would say, Katie, bar the door. Because I put my head down and I put my blinders on and I worked diligently, I worked consistently, and I worked intently to promote to regional vice president. And I did that, and I'm so grateful. And what it's done for me is changed my life. I've been able to bring home income every single month. Be sure to check out this really cool document we have. It's called earnings.arbonne.com, and it shares what's possible with Arbonne at every level. And there's just four levels of Arbonne, four levels in Arbonne. So I am going to mute my phone because I just got a message and I don't want to be interrupted because I will be thinking about that and lose track. That's just how I am. Ever see it? It's called squirrel. So anyway, I started my Arbonne business because the company I worked for went into Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I loved what I was doing. I was working hard. I was making really good money. But I tell you what, when they went into Chapter 11 bankruptcy, I was kind of dumbfounded. I didn't know what I was going to do. Should I stick with that or what should I do? And then, as serendipity would have it, I got a call from Lisa on my voicemail and she said, "Hey, Mary, I've got a friend who's working towards her Mercedes Benz." And she knew I'd been ordering here and there, and I was a consultant, not doing a whole lot, and nothing at all, actually, just taking orders for myself and a few friends. And she said, I have a friend on my team going for her Mercedes Benz cash award. And I was like, and it was volume based, right? It's volume based. So perhaps I had an order for her that would help her. And I thought, I bet if there is a involved, I bet there's money involved too. So picked up the phone. I said, "All right, tell me more about this." And she said, "Absolutely. Here's she had a website. She sent me to the website. I did my due diligence and I placed a starter order and I got started. I jumped in and like I said, worked hard, promoted to executive regional vice president. And now I'm working diligently to get to the next level, which is our national, the tippy top. So that's the 1% in Arbonne, and I'm like the 3%. So you know what? I'm grateful for all that I've had. It's my income that I've earned has done so much for me. Whether it is to pay my mortgage or pay my I get the car allowance toward a white Mercedes Benz or go on vacation. Everyone's dreams and desires are different. Some people join my team just because they want that extra $100 a week dropped in their checking account from their current sales that they do. Some people want to join our team because they want to build a more of a legacy. So whatever it is that you want, lean in and listen because it's possible and there's something here for you at whatever you desire. I'm going to share my screen, and when I share my screen, I'm going to go over a few facts about Arbonne. So hang on one little second. All right, here we go. So Here is my document, and I got to move this thing out of the way so I can see it. All right, so is Arbonne for you? You know, we really don't know, but if you lean in and listen, maybe you'll figure it out. There are some really cool things about Arbonne that I love. Number one, we're a health and wellness company. And you know what? I'm aging every day. And I'm always grateful every single day for the day that I was given. But I want to live my healthiest. I want to live with energy. I want to live with vitality. And how I do that is by taking care of my insides and my outsides. That's what I do. And we've got the products to do that. We're a health and wellness company with over 4 decades of history, experience, and expertise. We, you know, recently I ran into a girl and she said, every time I see you, you look like you're younger. You know, what are you doing? Well, she knows what I'm doing. So we had actually had coffee today and she was like, I can't do that. I just can't do what you do. And I said, well, here's the thing. You've got a 16-year-old daughter. What do you want? Do you want to be able to, have energy when she's 26? Do you want to be able to keep up with when she has grandkids? Do you want to be able to keep up with them? Now's the time when you take a look at what you're eating and how you're fueling your body so that you have that vitality as you age. And I think I kind of caught her attention. So we have an incredible advantage because we have something for everybody. We're not just a one product wonder. We have skincare, nutrition, personal care, hair care, and makeup. Arbonne has banned over 2,000 ingredients. They are prohibited in our formulations. Why that's so cool is because the European Union has banned like 1,400, 1,500. So we hold ourselves to a higher standard. And that's something to be said. We need to pat ourselves on the back for that. We're certified vegan. Now, don't misunderstand me. I love a good steak, but I love the fact that my skincare and my products that I'm eating, because they're not regulated, are certified vegan. They're cruelty free. We don't test on animals. We never have, never, and never will. They're formulated without gluten, dairy, soy, and whey, and they're non-GMO. Now, we hear this a lot as we, go around the community with other products. But one thing you can always understand and believe with Arbonne is that we have that 2,000 plus ingredients that we have prohibited from our formulations. And not other companies can brag about that. So our products are focused on protein intake, gut health, immune support, energy, stress reduction, sleep, hydration, and beautiful glowing skin. And this is my husband bringing me my detox tea. He, every single night we have a cup of detox tea. That's one of our products. And I tell you what, I'm a product of the product. That Clean Tox Detox tea is the best. So make sure if you're not drinking one every night, start. You'll be so grateful you did. So, our flagship bundles that we have support sustainable, healthy habits. That's what really we want to talk about. Healthy habits that are sustainable. And you know what? The cool thing is we have a 90-day money back guarantee. So there's marketplace demand, consumable products. You can leverage your time and build a team. And we're right in the timing and trends of what's popular and what people are looking for. And you know what? Sometimes it's just good to be in the right place at the right time. And that's what you are with Arbonne. So did you know that side hustles are big? Oh, come on. We know it. I've had 3 conversations in the last 4 or 5 days with women, and every one of them said they would like to do a side hustle. They have full-time jobs. They're making other money, but they like the idea of money dropping in their account every Tuesday based on their sales the week before. That says a lot. That's gas money. That's grocery money. Put it in the bank and save it for a cruise money. I guess I understand it's cruise season. People are all cruising. I've never been on a cruise, but a lot of people love them. So, that's vacation money. And global wellness is booming. We hear it all the time. So, how do you earn with Arbonne? That's really important because when you are looking at a company, not only do you want products that you can stand behind and be grateful and be excited to share them, not only do you want that, but you also want to know, okay, so how do I make money? Because let's face it, money isn't everything, as Rita Davenport used to say. She's our past VP, president of Arbonne. She's retired now, but she always used to say one of my husband's favorite sayings is, "Money's not everything, but it's right up there with oxygen. We got to have it." So it's absolutely true. We've got to have money, right? And money just helps us afford to. To do more, to be more, to give more. That's another what we call is a Rita-ism. Her name was Rita, and we have these like what we call Rita-isms because that's those are the things that she said, and she planted them in our hearts. So first of all, your commissions. Commissions are earnings that you make based on your personal sales. So if you happen to sell me this box of Clean Tox Detox tea, then you would make a commission on that. A 15% commission that you get paid, if it's a preferred client, typically it is, that you get paid the following Tuesday. So typically, so I say typically because there's a cutoff date. So commissions, that overrides is next. Overrides, ooh, this is good. This gets exciting. Overrides is when you start earning not only on your commissions, but on the people you have. Excuse me, I get so excited and choked up. So you start earning on not only your commission, but on the sales of your team. So you've taught these team members, you've taught them how to do the business, you've helped them, you led them along the way. And Arbonne's going to say, thank you for recruiting and thank you for teaching and thank you for showing them how to do what you do. So because of that, we're going to send you an override. And that comes in a monthly check. So you really get you can potentially get 5 checks a month. So that's really exciting. So then there's the VP Success Award, which I talked about, which is what really perked my ears up when Lisa called and left a voicemail. And the VP Success Award, that is earned at the vice president level. Excuse me. And it's like anywhere from 600 to 800 a month on your team sales. And it goes towards a white Mercedes-Benz, or you can choose another vehicle, and that's where the $600 comes in. But when you get into Arbonne, you hear all this, but I do like to point that out, that that's a nice award that you get every single month. And I'm on my fourth Mercedes-Benz, and sometimes I just like pinch me. I call it my extra employee because it drives me around. It works for me, and then I get paid because I'm driving it around. So it's definitely probably my only employee besides myself. And then there's an Achiever Award. At the Achiever Award, it's all about achieving your another cash allowance, I guess. I don't know how else to say it, but it's money's a bonus that you are offered at every level, starting at consultant and at each level based on your effort and the efforts of your team. So those are the 4 ways that we get paid. All right, so let's talk about what's typical. I want you to go to earnings.arbonne.com because you're going to see what's typical. You know what, guys? I never thought I was typical, and I hope you don't either. Let's think about what's possible, and that is what I absolutely love. There's 4 levels in Arbonne. District manager is the first level of management, and you know what? I recommend that you get there. If you're listening and you're curious about this. District manager is achievable, and it's just with a little bit of effort. You can reach that in 1 month or 2, but 1 month is easier, I think. And then you give yourself an 8% raise on that override. Remember I talked about that override part? Well, you get an 8% raise there. Who doesn't want an 8% raise? I mean, that's more than our COLA allowance that the government gave me for my what is it? My money I get my Social Security. I think it was like 2%. I'm like, what? I had to laugh. What were they thinking? So district manager is a great place to, just really go for as soon as you join Arbonne. And then area manager is the next level. Now this is the level where you're going to get a comma in that monthly override, and that's exciting because once you hit that, um, then guess what? You you will absolutely be excited because you are doing the same amount of work pretty much and getting just more money. You're just expanding your network. When I was, and here at that level as well, the area manager is willable. Now, I'm going to share something with you. I just want to make sure that you go to earnings.arbonne.com because when I got to area manager, my husband, I said, honey, I just got my check for area manager. And he goes, well, what is it? And it was it's not typical, guys. It's not typical. But like I said, I told you I wasn't typical. It was $3,500. And he said, what? He goes, you hardly did anything. I said, I know. I said, I know. He said, well, you better get back to work. So it wasn't always that much, but I just happened to have a month that was really good. And I was like, holy moly, that really blew me away. But that's what's possible. And again, I like to live in possibilities. Regional vice president is the next level, and that's where we get the white Mercedes-Benz car allowance, which is so fun. The Mercedes-Benz car allowance is based on your team sales. And then national vice president is the tippy top. That's that 1%. And if you go to earnings.arbonne.com, I am going to throw this out there. They typically start at like 18,000 a month. I mean, holy moly, come on. That's life changing. That's life changing. I mean, that's generation changing right there. That can change a lot of lives and that can change your life and it's possible. People reach that. So I'm going to finish up with where do you see yourself? There's three ways that we like to say you could be a part of Arbonne. One is to shop or be a host. You just gather a few friends, you sample some of your favorites, you get a deep discount for hosting, and you have a lot of fun. Especially now we do a spa party. It's totally fun. The second way is to save with as a preferred client. So the preferred client discount is between 20 and 30%. It's a product discount. You get free shipping on 150 orders. You get a free product on a 250 order. When I say 150 or 250, that's the SRP. So that's the retail amount. So you're getting 20% off of that. And then you also this month we've got something really cool for preferred clients in February only, where preferred clients get their $29 registration waived with a 150 SRP order. So that is really awesome. And then you can also, the third way is to earn and become an independent consultant. You get a 35% discount. You earn those commissions I talked about. You earn those overrides I talked about. You get those cash bonuses I talked about. There's no mandatory minimum purchase requirements. But you know what? I always say, become an independent consultant, run with it, go with it, don't give up. It's so much fun. So lastly, I want to ask you, what if you could? What if you could earn a little extra money to pay for the groceries, to pay for the light bill? It's all based on your own personal efforts. You got to understand that. But what if you could be your own boss? When I lost my job as in telecommunications, I pretty much it was like I worked for myself because I had a salary and it was a wonderful job, I was commissioned. So I really worked hard for those commissions and I treated it like my business. So when it went into Chapter 11 bankruptcy and they closed my office, I was like,
Oops, she's frozen.
I just want you to know that.
Hey,
Um,
Mary, can you roll that back? Because you froze for a minute. You said, I was like, and then you were gone.
I don't know
You were
where.
talking about when you lost your job because they went into Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Oh. Thank you. I know what I was saying. Be your own boss. So I was like my own boss. So that's what I did. My husband just turned on the TV. I must have snuck some of the internet service. Um, so I was like my own boss. I treated it like I was my own boss. I I got commissions and I wanted as much commissions as I could get. So I really did treat it like it was my own company. So when I got into Arbonne, I knew how to treat this like my own company and work it like my own company. You get to choose who you work with. Now, isn't that fun? Sometimes you get a job and you're like, oh, my coworker drives me crazy. Um, guess what? You get to choose who you work with. You ask them, you invite them to join your team. You get to set your own schedule, and that is awesome as well. You can take vacations. I have a new grandbaby up in Tennessee, and guess what? I try to fly up there once a month to see her and spend time with her. And when I'm up there, they work me like a dog. I'm their free babysitter, but I love every minute of it. So I get to do that because I get to set my own schedule. I love the next one. Improve your overall well-being. Holy moly. If you want vitality, if you want energy, if you want to look and feel good, then you want to try these products. You want to be consistent with them, and you want to treat your body like the temple that it is so that you have the energy and vitality that will take you through life. And what about changing others' lives? So many people just, you know what? I really want to change other people's lives. And that I love that because in this business, you can not only change their health, but you can also change their financial situation as well. So I'm going to stop my share and thank you guys for being on. I appreciate you so much. I want to ask you real briefly, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where? And if you don't like, if you're not sure, if you'd like to be somewhere, but you don't know if, you just don't know if what you're doing is going to get you there, then I'm going to ask you to please take a look at this business, do your due diligence, ask your questions, jump on, and let's get going. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.